CIA becomes latest intel agency to conclude the outbreak likely came from a Chinese lab leak, which is what everybody said from the beginning. Christians in
Right.
Action has thrown its weight behind the lab leak theory as the most plausible origin of COVID-19 in a low confidence assessment. Without providing details as to why the spy agency was changing its position, CIA informed reporters of its new position on Saturday, just 2 days after John Ratcliffe was sworn in as the new director. We have low confidence that this judgment and will continue to evaluate any available credible new intelligence reporting or open source information that could change CIA's assessment. They knew the whole time, obviously.
Yeah, listen.
But now there's going to be a lot of covering, and I guarantee you the shredders are on full whir.
Burr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, you ever worked with those shredders?
Oh yeah,
we had them in our skiffs, and we had like 2 or 3 of them. One of them was like a disintegrator. You could throw a hard drive into it.
Yeah.
And it would turn it to a powder.
I got mad at one of my commanders, and I stuffed all of his drawers in his office with shredder confetti.
Oh, not nice.
Glorious.
Rude, because that shit doesn't come out. He's going to be finding shred. He's going to be finding shred in his stuff like 2 years from now, even.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck? He comes in my office, and I'm like, I'm sitting eating some ramen for lunch. I'm like, what?
Epic dick move.
Yeah.
The CIA's shift in assessment does not appear to be based on any significant new evidence, which means they knew it the entire time, because that's how that works. On his way out, former CIA Director Burns had called on the agency to take a stance on the COVID origins instead of staying neutral. Well, they took a stance. I've talked about this before when I worked for no such agency in their military branch. We would report things, and then not 12 hours later, the news would report, and you saw this too.
Yeah.
The news would report something entirely different.
Totally different.
The guys on the ground, those of us who were doing the actual reporting and activities, those guys, I never met a bad one. I'm sure that's changed now. It's 2025. I was operational literally 22 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the guys above the rank of lieutenant colonel that were doing all the changing of the stuff, because they were jockeying for their position in the military industrial complex, or jockeying for a position as an SES.
The next job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's where all of that stuff came from. Now, while that's going on, everybody's thinking about the nation's response to all of that crap. Fewer than half say the country was given the right amount of priority to the needs of K-12 students, public health, and quality of life. But basically, do you remember what happened to the schools when Whitmer locked it down? Kids started committing suicide.
Yeah.
Children were committing suicide. The news had to stop reporting it. And it has not been reported to this day. There was like a dozen reports of it came out around the country, and then all of a sudden they shut it off like a spigot. And you and I know, because we deal with this stuff on the daily, but with our own brothers, that shit doesn't go away.
Yeah, it doesn't just turn off.
The damage done to the kids' psyches, because kids at that age need the interaction. They need to be with their peers. They need some form of socialization. That's the period in their lives when they're being socialized. Now you turn it all off and tell them they can't even go outside and play.
Wow, what a clusterfuck.
Those are the people that I want to put my hands around their necks the most.
And I want to know is, where are all the lawsuits for all of this mandate shit?
Everybody's rabbit holed it.
Wow.
Everybody's rabbit holed this stuff. There's the Iron Pig Smokehouse up in Grayling. That guy, I think his name is Ian. He is standing on their necks hard and will not let it go. And he grabs it and shakes it like a fucking junkyard dog every day, trying to get people to keep going. I'd actually like to go up there one of these days and tape a show there with him.
Yeah, we could do that.
on this
Yeah.
and eat some barbecue on the side. But he's like a pit bull. He will not let it go. He's like, you tried to destroy my business. I'm coming for every last one of you sons of bitches. And I don't blame him. I don't
Yeah.
blame him. Everybody should be doing that. I lost a business. I had a business.
Yeah.
And it got smoked by the lockdowns.
Oh, I mean, again, this is all, poke and smoke craziness, and it destroyed a lot of small businesses.
Yes.
I know there's a whole bunch of bars that are still closed to this day.
Did the Blarney ever reopen?
It opens now and again, but it doesn't get the foot traffic it used to.
That used to be one of the best bars in Detroit.
Yep. Actually, it's in the Blarney Stone in Berkeley.
It's in Berkeley, but it's on the Woodward drag. People going back and forth between
Yeah.
Detroit and Pontiac gave it a lot of its traffic. I worked at the Denny's on 12 and Woodward. I waited tables on midnights. Try waiting tables in a Denny's in Detroit on midnights, dude. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, the squirrely motherfuckers. You get in there. Whee!
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.